Okay, so I had crunch. Nah, I just woke up for a nap, that's why. But let me tell y'all a story. So I'm grocery shopping and I see this guy and I see him multiple times throughout the store. So I noticed that he's noticing me and obviously wants to say something but isn't. So throughout the store, I keep seeing him. Mind you, I'm with my daughter and I go to the self checkout kiosk and I'm checking out. He checks out right next to me, right? Proceeds to watch me check out all my groceries, doesn't say nothing, whatever. Then I'm
You
leaving. So
already want him to pay for you. No, that's not going to happen.
he sees me in the parking lot, then he decides that that's the time that he's going to come up to me and ask me
Yes.
for my number. So as I'm putting groceries in my car, he doesn't ask to help me. Didn't ask to pay for my groceries, nothing, but he asked for
He's not a simp.
my number. Okay. Gets my number, then proceeds to like hit me up all week to hang out, right? To go on a date. I finally hit him back up today and was like, okay, where would you want to go? What would you want to do? Mind you, that was at 7. He hits me back at like 10 and is like, oh, well, the only thing open now is, and now I'm never seeing you. Because you really thought.
Clearly can't go out with you in public. He probably saw this, or you probably were wearing this. You wore this the time that you met him. Or he seen something online that he didn't like and you feel like you're not worth it. The only thing he wants. Oh.
To me, I will never understand men that are like 30 and they're like, I'm still figuring out what I want. Still figuring it out? Get a journal, figure it out right now. Go get a therapist, figure it out right now. I'm like, how are you 30 and you don't know what you want?
A lot of women in this generation tend to go for older men. So they'll be 23, 24, going for men that are 28, 29, 30, because they're more established, they're more mature, they're financially stable. Then once they get 30, they're still single, whatever, and then they look at the men that are 29, 30 as well and be like, how come they don't want to settle down? How come they don't want to settle down? Because the same men when you were 23, 24, 25 that you did not want now get to the age that girls that were your age want them. It's the easiest concept to grasp. Men mature and get financially stable and all of that stuff way later on. I'm so sick of this.
The options that you used to have when you were younger, they have those options now. So why would you want them to settle for you? No way.
Be the dominant and the man should be the submissive. That's
because y'all follow
It says women should be the dominant and men should do the following because they are good at taking commands. What do you think I'm going to say? I'm going to say men are good at taking commands. Men are good at doing and we are good at being. Men deteriorate when they are being. They don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
They are excellent at doing. So what your prerogative is to find a man who will do the doing for you. We are very good at energetic power. We're very good at the feminine energy. And that means leadership in the spiritual realm. You want a certain life. You have a man with you who can make that happen in the physical realm. Sure, you can make it happen, but who wants to burn themselves out when someone else can do it for you? So, woman is the neck, the man's the head. You can tell him where it is you want him to go, but you need to choose someone who can do that for you and with you and make wise choices.
Okay, I saw this on my timeline and I would love to talk about it. OnlyFans creator reacts to her future kids possibly finding out her career. They can cry in a Ferrari. Love this for you, girl. Love it. I want to note that the comment section really passed the vibe check. But I did see a comment in there saying had it been someone of color, that she would have been dragged through the mud. And I
It's not
completely
even about color.
agree. For example, I know I'm not anyone in the grand scheme of people in the world. Maybe I might be someday, but I digress. I always talk about support your fellow creators, support, women in general. And I always get dragged through the mud for that, because I'm a spicy creator or whatever have you. So let's support all women, especially women of color, because we're getting dragged through the mud as if we haven't been saying this forever, but okay, like you should be respected regardless of your occupation. And not only that, but what do you think your mom and your dad was doing in the 80s and 90s? Shit, 70s. How do you
In
think
the 70s, people used to get married properly and raise kids as a family. They never used to divorce. They would grow up together. They grow old and die. So, what are you talking about?
you got here? Things were probably even more crazier then. It's just we didn't have phones to record. But yeah, as far as my opinion when it comes to my future kid growing up and possibly finding out that I do spicy content, I have always stressed and expressed that I'm living this lifestyle so my daughter doesn't have to. You understand? I'm making sacrifices just like those who are in the military.
Let's not bringing in the military here. It's so different from what you're doing. What you're doing I can't believe it. How delusional this woman is, guys. Let me know in the comment section.
Terry, or obviously different realms, but still the same idea of we are sacrificing ourself, our well-being, to make a better life for our children. Not to mention that these platforms that we are on now are not going to be relevant more times than not 10, 15 years from now. And if they are, I doubt that I'm still going to be circulating in a negative way. You feel me? And it just brings me back to the idea of like, why is it that y'all care so much about the kids, but y'all are absent fathers everywhere about y'all? Even if you're not a direct absent father, you still allow your friends to be ancient fathers to their kids. You don't address the issue. So it's just funny how you want to keep addressing females, but you still hanging out with that bum who ain't taking care of his 3 kids at home. You're still supporting that man who has kids that he's never even seen in years.
Nope.
Women are sacrificing themselves and their well-being to create a better life for their children and their future, and y'all are shitting on us, finding a way, any way, shape, or form to shit on us for that. The only reason y'all keep spitting out negative things like this is because you want control. You don't want women to have the option to be able to make money from their natural...
Well, you have the options and you're doing it right now. So what's the issue here? You're coming out and feeling bad about being judged. I mean, you've chosen to do that. So if people react to what you are doing, your actions, you shouldn't blame them. I mean, you have the prerogative at the end of the day. You decided to go into spice content. So what you saying here? I can't believe it.
Talents or their looks or that, because you don't find it to be aligned with your moral ethics. But I want to know also that your morals only apply to you. They only apply to you. Your moral construct only applies to you. I don't have to follow your moral construct.
You don't.
And side note, if you don't like spicy creators so much, okay, no corn for you.
Yeah.
No nothing.
More and more Western men are attracted to Asian women over Western women. There are hundreds of reasons why they do that. But I want to touch on the money part. That some of the Western women, they say, oh, Western men, they go to Asia because they're pigs or slimes or this or that or whatever, or they buy love. Well, let's touch on that. Friend of mine, he's a good-looking man in his early 40s, lives in the West, and he thought, okay, I will go out with an 8 out of 10 Western woman. They demand a lot. They really, technically, they expect a sugar daddy. So he thought, okay, I'll go with a 7. So he would go out with a 7. On average, the date would cost him maybe $200. He would go out on a few dates. Then the one would say, you know, I want to check my options. I want to date other men, and I want to see what's going to happen. But he's paying. He's paying. I believe in equality, but when it comes to dates, a lot of women, they expect the man to pay. That's not fair. But anyways, so he started going to Asia. On average, the date would cost him maybe $30.
Interesting.
And women would not tell him. I'm saying like most Asian women, they would not say, well, I want to check our option. You know, I want to go out with other men at the same time with you. I want to see what's best for me. You do the math.
Interesting.